Sarah retires at 55. Karen retires at 62. They both think they made the smarter choice. They are both wrong, because Sarah forgot to count the 7 years of savings she will never make, and Karen forgot to count what 7 extra years of stress does to a human body. And when you run the numbers over 30 years, the gap will make your stomach drop. Let's keep this fair. Sarah and Karen both have $400,000 saved in their 401k. They both earn $65,000 a year. Same age until 55, same city, same financial starting point. The only difference is when they decide to stop working. Sarah retires at 55. She is tired. She has worked 30 years. Her kids are grown. She wants her life back. She has $400,000 saved and a paid-off house. On paper, she looks ready. She feels ready. She is done. Karen decides to push 7 more years until 62. She does not love her job, but she does not hate it either. She keeps contributing $800 a month to her 401k. She tells herself 7 more years and then real freedom. Her friends think she is crazy for waiting. On day 1, Sarah wakes up with no alarm. She drinks her coffee slowly. She takes a walk at 10 a.m. on a Tuesday. She feels free in a way she has not felt in decades. She is 55 years old and retired. Most people she knows are still sitting in traffic. Karen is one of them. Karen watches Sarah's Facebook posts and wonders if she made a mistake. It is not even close in terms of how it feels, but feelings and math are 2 very different things. The retirement age is the number everyone talks about. It is the number in the early retirement blogs, the number in the financial independence podcasts, the number your coworker whispers about when they are fantasizing about quitting. What nobody talks about is everything that quietly attacks that number the moment you stop working. Healthcare. Medicare does not start until age 65. Sarah retires at 55, which means 10 full years of private health insurance. The average cost for a 55-year-old American on a private plan is $700 to $900 a month. That is $8,400 to $10,800 per year coming directly out of her savings before she pays for a single meal or bill. Over 10 years, that is $84,000 to $108,000 gone purely on health insurance before Medicare kicks in. Nobody puts that number on the early retirement YouTube thumbnail. Sarah cannot collect Social Security at 55. Not at 59. Not even at 62 at full benefit. If she claims at 62, she gets a permanently reduced payment, about 25 to 30% less than her full retirement age benefit. If her full benefit would have been $1,800 a month at 67, claiming at 62 gives her roughly $1,260 forever. That reduction never goes away. It follows her for the rest of her life. The 401k wall. Sarah cannot touch her 401k without a 10% penalty until age 59 and a half. She has $400,000 locked behind a wall for 4.5 years. She can use a strategy called 72T distributions to access it early, but most people have never heard of this, and one mistake permanently breaks the arrangement and triggers massive penalties. While Sarah is retired, Karen is still adding $800 a month to her 401k with employer match. Over 7 years, that is $67,200 in contributions plus compound growth. Karen is quietly building wealth while Sarah is spending hers. Sequence of returns risk. If the market drops 30% in Sarah's first 2 years of retirement and she is withdrawing money at the same time, she locks in those losses permanently. This is the single biggest killer of early retirement plans, and almost nobody talks about it until it is too late. Year 3, Sarah is 58, Karen is still working. Sarah has been drawing roughly $3,500 a month from savings to cover living expenses and health insurance. Her $400,000 has dropped to approximately $330,000 to $345,000, even with market growth because withdrawals are eating the gains. She is not panicking yet, but the math is tighter than she expected. Karen's 401k has grown from $400,000 to approximately $480,000 to $510,000 with continued contributions and compound growth. She is still working. She's not happy about it, but her number is climbing. Year 7. Sarah is 62. Karen just retired. Sarah is now 62. She has been retired for 7 years. Her savings have dropped to approximately $250,000 to $290,000. She claims Social Security early at a permanently reduced rate of roughly $1,260 a month. She finally qualifies for Medicare at 65, so she has 3 more years of private insurance costs ahead. Karen retires at 62 with approximately $620,000 to $680,000 saved. She also claims Social Security, but because she worked 7 extra years, her benefit calculation is higher. She receives roughly $1,400 to $1,500 a month. She has significantly more savings and a higher monthly check than Sarah, despite retiring at the same age of 62. Year 15. Both women are in their late 60s and early 70s. Sarah is 70. Her reduced Social Security, smaller savings balance, and 15 years of withdrawals have left her with approximately $180,000 to $220,000 in savings. She is getting by, but the margin is thin. One major health event could seriously damage her financial security. Karen is 70. She retired later, saved more, and drew Social Security at a higher rate. Her savings sit at approximately $380,000 to $440,000. She has more cushion, more options, and significantly less financial stress. Year 25. Both women are in their late 70s and early 80s. This is where the story fully separates. Sarah at 80 has approximately $80,000 to $120,000 left. Depending on her health and spending, she could outlive her money. This is not a theoretical risk. The average American woman lives to 84. Running out of money at 80 is not a failure of math. It is a failure of planning. Karen at 80 still has approximately $250,000 to $320,000. She has real options. She can leave money to her children, handle medical emergencies, or simply live without financial fear for the rest of her life. Defend the loser. If I only showed you the downsides of early retirement, I would be doing what every personal finance influencer does. Working until 62 has real costs that people love to ignore. Health and stress are real. Studies consistently show that high-stress jobs accelerate aging, increase heart disease risk, and reduce quality of life in measurable ways. 7 extra years in a stressful job is not free. You are paying for that extra savings with your body and your time. Some people pay a price they never fully recover from. Time is the one thing you cannot buy back. Sarah got 7 extra years of freedom in her 50s when she was healthy, mobile, and energetic. Karen got 7 extra years of a paycheck, but she also gave up 7 years she will never see again. At 75, Karen cannot go back and take those years. Money can be rebuilt. Time cannot. Not everyone can work until 62. For people in physically demanding jobs, construction, nursing, manufacturing, the idea of working until 62 or later is not always a choice. Bodies break down. Early retirement is sometimes not a luxury, it is a necessity. When retiring at 55 actually wins. Retiring at 55 wins in specific identifiable situations. If you have a pension that begins paying immediately at 55, the math changes dramatically. Many government, military, and union workers have this option, and it completely transforms early retirement viability. If you have a spouse still working and covered by employer health insurance, the biggest cost of early retirement disappears entirely. If you have saved significantly more than $400,000, closer to $1 million or above, the 4% safe withdrawal rule gives you enough monthly income to survive and grow without depleting your savings. And if your health is declining, retiring early to protect your quality of life is a financial decision that spreadsheets simply cannot fully capture. Early retirement is not a bad goal, it is a misunderstood one. Sarah and Karen both walked away from that decision thinking they were making the smart play. Sarah thought freedom at 55 was worth any financial cost. Karen thought 7 more years of savings would solve everything. Neither of them actually sat down and mapped out what each choice costs in healthcare, in social security reductions, in savings depletion, and in sequence of returns risk over 25 to 30 years. The real trap is not retiring early, and it is not working longer. The real trap is making either decision based on how exhausted you feel on a Tuesday afternoon, without ever running the full numbers for your own specific situation. And if you're wondering what happens when you retire at 55 but have a pension, a working spouse, and over $1 million saved, that is a completely different conversation, and the math might change everything you think you know. But for now, the next time someone tells you they are retiring at 55 and it is all figured out, ask them one question. Did you include everything? Because the answer that includes everything is the only answer that matters.